everyone, welcome to my journal for February. I'm really excited to share it with you. Thank you so much for all the kind comments and conversation on my last video. This video will be a combination of some setup and also just some flip through. I am excited to share it with you. We are filming this pretty well into March, so I apologize for the delay, but life has been pretty hectic and I've been sick, so but without much further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the updates. All right, so this is going to be my first time recording a voiceover, so forgive me as I get used to this. But essentially what I was trying to do with the main cover page was, I knew I really wanted to use one of these windows from the Into the Sky set from Hinoki, and I love those winter witches from Marigona Suli Art. So I knew that I wanted those to be the cover page, so I was just kind of testing out which washi tapes from Marigona Suli Art I wanted to use. I was seeing what I used in the past and maybe going with something different from that light fall spread. So I actually sometimes keep like washi tape strips that I haven't used yet at the back of my notebook or just in random places, and I tried to get that one up, but it did not work, which is fine. We just use some more of it. I have a lot of this washi tape. So I'm just putting the washi tape on the edges, and you will see that I had it sometimes takes me a very long time to get the washi tape to, well, actually, I don't know, look straight, be straight, especially on the edges. So I pull it up and put it back down. I like to be pretty precise with it, so it just takes me a bit to get it in the right spot, if you will. So I pull it up and down. I hope this is interesting for people. Then I pull out my ruler and I like to see where I'm going to cut the page so it'll look nice with the washi tape under. I thought I filmed myself cutting with the wavy scissors, but I didn't. Actually, Cozy with Katie just shared a video of her cutting and how she cuts with the wavy scissors, and it's exactly how I use mine. So if you're curious, I would check out hers. I keep all of sometimes I print out like a lot of stickers at once, and so I keep them all in that little kind of like sticker book and cut them out when I have free time. So I pulled those out for February because I made them earlier. I just did some more precise cutting on the window sticker that I was going to be using, and I was pretty happy with this combination of this kind of white and had some like blue holographic tones, and I thought it went really nicely with that winter witch sticker. So now I'm just figuring out how I want to use these other elements. I knew I wanted to pull in some of the pinks into this main spread so that way it balanced out how blue the witch was. And I also wanted to use some of these snowflake ones as well, but they leaned a slightly different blue, so I had a hard time figuring out which ones, but I went with a more gray blue snowflake sticker. And you'll see I'm just testing a lot of how I'm going to layer things and what the order of all of the stickers is going to be for the collage, and I move a lot of things around. Once I started putting that down, I actually realized I wasn't happy with where that pink flower was, so I moved her off to the side. These Marigona Suli Art stickers are really malleable, so it's really easy for me to pick them up and move them around. I find that the vinyl stickers are the best for that kind of like matte vinyl. So not all stickers are this forgiving, but hers definitely are. So it's nice for me to be able to pick up with like my little tweezers and move them about. And I'll use my tweezers all the time to put down my stickers because my nails are a little bit too long now. I haven't always had long nails, so this has definitely been something to adjust to. I'm also using some more of those clouds from the Into the Sky set, and I'm also using I used just like one of the moths from the Ikigai Papir kind of moth pink set, and I thought it looked cute. And then we're finishing this off with just some tape from Simply Gilded. It's like this minimal blush kind of peony tape, and I think it's really pretty. It has this gorgeous rose gold foiling on it, and I think it pulls out the tones of the pink nicely to just kind of round out the color scheme here so it didn't look too blue. I thought I might be able to use something from the Moonlit blush set on this page, but I ended up using that on the next spread. So I'm just putting that down on the bottom, then cutting that out with my scissors, just like around the wavy parts. And yeah, I do that on the top as well, getting it all lined up. And I'll often use like my little scissor to go down in the crease of like the middle of the page just to make sure it's like a hard line there so it's nice and easy to be folded. And then you can see how I actually print out all this stuff there. But I'll print out a lot at once and then cut them with my scissors by hand, which sometimes is tedious, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm just on a call with friends and I'll be cutting things out or watching something. So I kind of like the busy work, if anything, while I'm doing other things. And then I'm pulling out a bunch of my paper scraps. I keep a bunch of them just after, working on a spread. I keep the random ones because I might be able to use it in the future. I'm kind of hoarding them. But then I go in and I actually start cutting the books out for the TBR spread. So I'm just using my, good old paper cutter here. You could really use any paper cutter. I think I got this one from Amazon for not expensive. And I actually completely messed up cutting that. So I start moving them towards the middle so I can have a better grip on it. But yeah, I love printing out all my stuff on sticker paper. It's been really nice. I have a hoard of matte vinyl sticker paper that is amazing from online labels. I have so much of it because you kind of have to buy in bulk, but I love their matte vinyl sticker paper. It's so good. And buying it in bulk is, I don't know, decently priced if you know you're going to use it. So now I'm layering and just getting my collage elements, and you'll see I'll put stuff behind a sticker to kind of test out how I want the different kind of collage elements to look before placing it on. So that's what I sometimes do, especially with those more individual stickers or larger stickers. I'll put stuff behind it and adhere it to the back of the sticker before putting everything on the page. It just kind of helps me. Now I'm just looking through the other Cora Crea crafts, pet tape to see if there's anything I could use from there, but I end up just using a couple stickers couple snowflakes from her other snowflake kit, so that worked out nicely. And I'm just pulling in some more decorative stickers from my Marigona Suli Art, just getting this collage up, moving some things around so it doesn't look, weird. Sometimes I struggle with corners. I always want the corner to have a nice kind of diagonal line of paper, and it just kind of helps, or elements, so they all look like they flow nicely together. So yeah, I'm just continuing to collage. It sometimes takes me a really long time to get everything together, especially with the collages. It's not my usual style. I've really only started doing it for this journal, and I've really enjoyed it, but it's just not super natural to me yet. So just testing out different things. And I try to put that lace white washi tape there that I have from the Washi Tape Shop, and I really like it, but it just didn't quite work on this spread. So now I'm arranging my TBR. I love the way this one looked. I love putting book covers next to each other and trying to see how to balance all the colors. It's very satisfying to me. So I love doing that, but I just don't know if I'm going to continue to do TBR spreads like this. Maybe I'll find another way to include book collages. But yeah, and then I just started using some of the winter kind of florals from Marigona Suli Art to layer underneath the book covers. So I haven't laid any of those covers down yet. I'm trying to get the underneath decoration done first, so that way when I put the book covers down, I don't have to pull them back up to put any decoration behind them. So it looks a little, I don't know, haphazard right now, but yeah, the chaos kind of works in the end. So I'm pulling out some of those lighter snowflakes so that way they don't take up too much visual interest, because we already have so much happening on this page with the book covers that I knew I only wanted the snowflakes to kind of be, especially if they're going to be behind the covers, I knew I wanted them to be lighter and they wouldn't draw as much attention if they were the white ones. So I was mainly just using those as a way to create some visual interest, some sparkle on the page. I'm moving the covers around to kind of get more of the ones with more color in them, like Immortal, One Last Stop, and the Witchcraft for Wayward Girls spread out. And I knew I wanted Onyx, Storm, and Hellbent to balance each other as well, since they had those gray and black tones. And then the others were just kind of dark, so they went in the other spots. Yeah, I don't know. I just find it really fun to put these down. Sometimes it takes me quite a while to get the adhesive off, so I have cut out some time of me just trying desperately to get the sticker paper undone. I don't know if other people struggle with that sometimes, but I definitely do. So yeah, I'm just placing those down as I have them done, and I think I pulled these up to get this snowflake in just the right position. I was like never quite happy with it, but it gets a little bit better there. And then you'll notice I leave kind of like all of the excess until I'm kind of done with the spread, and then you have this very satisfying moment of cutting it all away and seeing how it falls off the edge of your page. It's a little hard to capture when you are doing a video for this because you have to be close to it, but I try to get a good sense of it. So that's the spread, and then I come back later, and I don't have the setup for that of like the monthly stats and stuff, but we do have that filled in the wrap up at the end of this video, so stay tuned towards the end for more on that. And now the next spread that I'm working on is a purchase ledger and a from the library spread. So I wanted to keep track of the books that I have been purchasing. I honestly don't purchase, well, I say this, I don't purchase a ton of books, but I thought it would be nice to keep track of the ones I purchase and the ones that I have been borrowing. Mostly it's just like a way for me to see the, where I'm spending my money or what platforms I'm spending my money on. And additionally, when I am able to get something from the library. So it just makes me feel a little bit better. And it's not just from the library. Like sometimes I will listen to something on Spotify whenever it's available. So I'm also including that. I went back and I looked at my other pages that are going to be similar to this one, which is like my highly endorsed and anticipated reads spreads, because I was going to set them up kind of similarly with the same kind of, what is it called? A table, a table with like lines. And I thought that this washi tape from the Moonlit blush set from Notebook Therapy looked really pretty with the pinks kind of flowing from the last spread. And I thought it would also pair nicely with, I've been desperate to use this Winter Witches washi tape set from Marigona Suli Art. I freaking love that washi tape, and I thought about putting it on both sides, but I didn't want each side to be super similar to each other, and I wanted to test out putting one washi tape on one side and another washi tape on another. So I don't know, we're trying it out. So one side is more pink and the other side is more blue, and I think it looked cute in the end. And then I'm pulling in some stuff from Notebook Therapy. I have from I think it's their dried flowers set that those stamps kind of came from, or those, I guess they are stamps that I'm layering behind the witch from Marigona Suli Art here. And I'm pulling out some of my stamp sets from Notebook Therapy, layering that with more of the Moonlit blush washi tape set, and trying to just figure out like how I'm going to do the header. I really like this kind of like clear tape set that came with the Moonlit blush, because I think it provides like a little bit of visual interest without being super, like I don't have to think too much about it. I just kind of add it to the top of the page, and I think it just adds just the right amount of visual interest up at the top. So I quite like that for what I have been using it for, like putting it behind these headers on these pages. And then I'm just figuring out what decoration I want to put on the right hand side. I thought one of the books from Marigona Suli Art with the cute little books in the same color scheme would be really pretty, especially for a library set. And the interesting thing with this is I couldn't have a lot of decoration on this right hand side because the table will be going down the right hand side of this page in a way that is a little bit harder to deal with than having stuff on the left hand side. I hope that makes sense, but like if I have a column there that's just one grid wide, it's gonna be completely cut off by any decoration there. So I had to think about how I was going to do that pretty carefully. And here I have like a separate notebook where I test a lot of stuff, so you can kind of see my chaos here, where I test out my stamps, I test out the colors that I'm going to be using, and I just use my Tombow markers for the most part for my stamp sets. I don't want to buy a lot of stamp ink. I do have some, but I don't want to buy a ton of colors, and I already have these, so I have been using that. I have this gorgeous Tombow marker in just the right shade of like periwinkle. So that came out, I think, really cute on this page. I love the way that I got to use my like little library card stamp which I was very excited to use because I hadn't used it yet. And I think it looks really cute at the top to just add some visual interest. And I'm coming in with my ruler, and I did plan out these tables and like what columns I was going to be putting in them earlier. And I was just checking over here which Tombow marker color I want to use, so you can see the swatches that I have at the back of my notebook. It's like a little sneak peek. And here I'm just finally putting down the headers where I want to have them, so that way I know where I should start the tables. That way it looks good. So I'm finally committing to a location, although I say that as I literally pull up and move one of them. So we're committing to some of these locations for the headers. But I do love this sticker paper because it is so easy to pull up. I picked this marker on the left, the pink, because I do think it matches the Marigona Suli set really nicely, but I wish I would have gone with a slightly more red pink on the left to match the Moonlit Blush washi tape set. I still think it looks cute when the whole spread is finished, but it doesn't quite match quite as perfect as I wanted it to. So it is what it is. The journal can't be perfect. And then I'm just creating the tables. I like to have like 2 grid spaces for the header, so that way I can do a cute little cursive. I can have it like outlined in the color. I think that looks nice. And then I'm just starting to go in and fill in. I'm looking at like what other books I've been reading, and I'm just filling in which ones I knew I purchased and which ones I got from the library. So I have an issue because I like to read a lot of audiobooks. I like to listen to audiobooks, and I also like to read ebooks. I like to kind of just have a mix of both. I hate not having an audiobook on hand. It just makes me sad. So I find myself, that's my biggest like sticking point for purchasing books. Like I might have it in one format, but then I'm like, damn, I want an audiobook. So that's often where I spend a lot of my money. But I do have an Audible subscription, and I make great use of it. I try to find everything at the library if I can, as well. So I've been, doing my part, but I'm really happy with that spread, and I think it looks really cute, coming from the last one. So now we're moving into our next one that we have here, which is for the Literally Dead book club from Books and Lala. So I'm putting together a spread for the first 3 books, and I am sad to say this was the hardest spread I think I've ever put together, and I do not love the way that it came out. There's so many gorgeous things on this spread, and one of my favorite things is this gorgeous washi tape that I bought from the Washi Tape Shop, and it is absolutely stunning. It's their Scarlet Blooms washi tape, and I love the color scheme of this. I think it's gorgina. I loved the idea of pairing kind of like feminine like pinks and reds with the idea of like a dead book club. I thought it would look really cute. It was really hard for me to collage together, I'm gonna be honest. I had a vision, and I had a really hard time executing on it. So I'm just warning you now, she's not my favorite. But with that being said, let's talk about some of the things happening here. So I do have this big book that I picked up at a thrift store of this gorgeous kind of like orangey brown paper. I love it. I was trying desperately to make this piece work as the background, but then it doesn't rip well in a certain direction. So I had to abandon that idea. And then I tried to use this lighter tan. That also wasn't working. And I love this gothic window that I got from the Cora Crea Crafts cutout set. And it's just so stunning and fun, and I wanted to use it. So I did end up using it because I think it fits perfectly. But the layout was really tricky. So I played around with a lot of things. I thought I was going to rip the side of this washi paper and then put the kind of ripped part over it, but you could kind of see the edge of the paper underneath the washi tape, which I didn't love. I also made like this like little wax seal in Canva with like the Literally Dead logo on it, which I thought was really cute. So I am glad that I have that. I think it's a fun little touch, and it pulls out some more of the red. I ended up getting a larger piece of paper from the book, and again, I try to put the washi tape over it with like these ripped edges under, and like having like the paper underneath, and it just she did not work. It was just not working. I tried layering some more of the book paper underneath of it. There could have been honestly something here, but it was just not working. So I'm pulling everything back out again. I'm trying, like, oh, maybe if I frame it, it will look good. I tried ripping this edge as well. I do love how wide this washi tape is. It covers a lot of the page, so it's really easy to get like almost a full cover, spread of this wide washi tape. And you can also like cut it down. So it's great for journaling, and I'm really glad I picked up this set. So I bought this set myself, but I was also, later on you'll see, I was sent some washi tape from the Washi Tape Shop, but a lot of actually everything in this spread I bought myself before I was ever sent that. So I'm also playing around with some of the black lace from the washi tape set. It's a pet tape, PET tape. I quite like it. It's kind of fun and shiny. But anyway, so I'm realizing that the layering the page underneath is not working, and it's also chaotic. So I'm like, maybe I just need to have like a normal size piece of paper here, and maybe I just need to have the kind of floral all underneath the paper. So I'm kind of just going up far enough on the page, so that way when I put the paper over top of it, the washi tape looks like it's covering the whole page, but I don't have to use the middle section. It looks fine without it. And I know that the patterns don't perfectly match, but we're going to cover up with some more collage elements. So I'm pulling in some more of those book paper spreads. I'm pulling in that black washi tape. And I like the way that the black elements do kind of play off of each other. I think that works pretty well, but I was really struggling with layout, and I was like, it's way too chaotic. So I'm just trying out a bunch of different things. I also loved the way that tag with the black kind of edges around it looked. That's also from Cora Crea Crafts. So I tried mixing that in. I also have these cute butterflies and like this orangey pink color from Cora Crea Crafts that I also really liked. And I was like, oh man, I want to bring those in. And it was just like, there's two, Mallory, we need to calm down. I literally think I spent like an hour trying to collage this spread, and it was probably an hour for like the full page, but it just took way too long. And as you can see, I'm even running out of things to say about it while I'm recording this, because when I tell you I was just so indecisive, tried so many things, I do think it is like helpful to see me be indecisive, because a lot of people have asked, not a lot, like 3 of you have been like, oh, I'd love to see your process. And I'm like, my process is a mess. So I hope hopefully this makes you feel better. If you think that I get things right on my first try, I definitely do not. So anyways, I sometimes use a glue stick rather than my glue tape to get especially like these fine details on these cutouts. And also I find on my book paper that I have, it works a lot better like that. So with the actual glue. So I'll sometimes switch over to the glue stick rather than the glue tape, and then I'm just kind of going in when possible, still trying desperately to layer that tag on. I was like, this is too busy. What am I even writing in the tag? So I abandon it. I abandon all hope, and then I just kind of give up, and I put a couple butterflies down just to, I don't know, just so it's not as busy. I think that was the right call in the end, and it's not perfect, but I think it does look a little bit better when I'm just looking at it back, and I'm adjusting some of the lines as well here, and it looks okay. So now I'm using another one from the same set, and it has a little bit more of those red tones. I think it'll look really nice with some of the other book covers for this book club. So it's a really wide washi tape set, so I actually cut it in half. And the nice thing about this washi tape is it has a backing on it, so that way when I cut out like just one side of it or cut out a piece of it, I don't have to find a place to put the other one because it's sticky on the other side. This has the backing, which is really, oh my gosh, it's so nice for when you're just like working and you have a bunch of stuff. I initially thought about maybe using like this moon from the Midsummer Night washi tape set, on the edge as like kind of like a barrier and then cutting out along it. But honestly, I was so done with the spread. By the time I got there, I was like, I'm just cutting this across and I'm just going to use my little rounding corner tool and we're going to call it a day. We're not going to do an intricate cutout of like the moon washi tape. Mallory, we need to calm down. I almost put the extra bit of washi tape on the left side. I really thought about it and I actually think it would look better, but what I ended up doing was I ended up taking the black lace tape and I put half of it on the edge of one side, and then I cut it out and put the other edge on the front side as well. I tried to like fold it over and that did not work, let me tell you. But cutting it out was super easy, and then I just kind of round the corners manually following the rounded corner lines that I made earlier. So it's not perfect. I don't know if I love it, but she at least exists. And she's ready to go. And the saddest part is I didn't even read my book in February. I went through all of this to just not read Witchcraft for Wayward Girls. I will read it though, because I will use this spread. I actually find that making the spreads ahead of time is a great motivating factor for myself. So now I'm just going in and just putting the months that these correspond to and putting them down. You'll often find that like when I cut out a piece of my journal, I will use it as just like scrap paper or a ruler when I'm working on other stuff. It's honestly very helpful. But that is pretty much it for this section. Now we're going to go into the flip through. So I hope you enjoyed this and I'm excited to see you. Bye! So starting out, I have my bookshelf update. So I read Emily Wilde, Encyclopedia Fairies, and also Onyx Storm this past month in February. So those are the colors that I chose. Emily Wilde is a nice like kind of mixture of fantasy, romance, a little bit of historical, and then as you can see the Onyx Storm continuation. I do have one update to my bingo. I did read a 2025 new release with Onyx Storm, so that was my update there. Of course, I have my book spread also filled out as well, so just for Onyx Storm and Emily Wilde. I read Onyx Storm mostly as audio, and then Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies was a mixture of the physical book and also the audiobook as well. I accidentally did fill in the first circle on that with a black marker, which was wrong, but that's all right. It doesn't matter too much. Those denoted if I read them in another year, so technically I was just supposed to fill it in with purple, but it's fine. Emily Wilde was also on my backlog, so I finally got to put like a little flower there, so I'm really happy with that. It also took me until this morning before filming this video that I haven't done my winter wrap up yet for my stats, so I'm gonna work on that and maybe do a smaller separate video or include it in my next one, but I'm actually excited to look at all my stats for winter, which is for us December, January, and February. So that will be coming. I just literally forgot about this part of my journal, so next time we will have an update on that. For Buzzwordathon, I'm doing horrible on the words so far, but Emily Wilde I put as the foliage book. I'll probably put the next one for pattern since there's so many like repeating elements in it. So Map of the Other Worlds will probably go up there as soon as I finish it. I did finish Emily Wilde, so I got to mark that off. It was literally on the northeast side of my bookshelf, so I'm so happy about that. And then for March, it's Match Your Sundial, so a book with sun or clock on the cover. Now, this is a bit of a stretch, but I know I'm reading it this month, and I would argue that those are sun rays, and it has sun in the title for sunrise, so I'm gonna take my win with Sunrise on the Reaping for March and consider that good enough for my Adventures in Aldea yearly challenge. So I feel fine about that. And ultimately, this challenge is just meant to help us read more. So that's the goal for it. All right, here we have my wrap-up page, but filled out. This is probably one of my favorite like collages that I've done on the front. I am disappointed because I only read like 2 books this month, so a lot of my TBR did not get to. I'm thinking about changing the way I do this because I just feel sad when I don't accomplish it, but I also like putting together the collage of covers. So we'll figure it out, but I think it will change for March. But I do love the way that this turned out. So if you watch the setup, it already walked through like all of the elements, but just in case I missed anything, I have some of these snowflakes from Cora Crea Crafts. The stickers are mostly from Marigona Suli Art, of course, as is the washi tape on the edge. The washi tape down here is from Simply Gilded. This window and some of these clouds are from the new Hinoki Into the Sky set from Notebook Therapy, and I love this set. I'm so glad I picked it up. I was kind of on the fence, but I've been using it so much, and it's just like absolutely stunning. I love all the windows and like the little clouds and stuff. I love it, love it. And I use like one tiny little butterfly or moth from Ikigai Papir or Mocha Buji's channel. And then this is the stat page. I'm thinking it's a little empty down here, so I might add some stuff later, but I'm overall pleased with how this came out. We can walk through some of the things here. Again, the stickers, mostly Marigona Suli Art with all of these, and then these moths and butterflies are from Ikigai Papir. And then as far as the wrap up, this is not that interesting because again, I only read 2 books, but I read 863 pages. I had an average rating of 3.25, but I would consider that just these are very disparate ratings as a spoiler. I started Onyx Storm before February and it took me all month to read it. Part of that is not just like me trying to get through Onyx Storm. I was also really sick in the middle of February, and then I was really busy with work after that because I was catching up from being sick. So it was just not a great reading month because I was just too sick to read. So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, and then I read Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies like right after I finished. And I did technically wrap it up on like March 2nd, but I'm counting it as a February book because I read most of it in February. And I'm trying to be compassionate with myself. And I was close to finishing it, so it's fine. As far as the stats, this is only for 2 books, so these are not anything crazy. But both of them had romance and fantasy elements. And then I also counted Emily Wilde as a little bit of historical because it's in the early 1900s. And then as far as how I read it, Emily Wilde, I read mixed with audio and physical book, and then mostly just audio for Onyx Storm. I do have the ebook and I looked at it a few times, but it wasn't nearly enough for me to say that I read them in tandem. I owned Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, and I did buy Onyx Storm because it just came out, so that's fine, but it's a 50-50 split there. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the stats page. Nothing too crazy here. So now we're moving into the spreads that I have also just made for this month. So I wanted a purchase ledger, so if you saw the setup, then this is just the purchase ledger. The only thing I've really added is I did get Map of the Otherlands on Audible, so that was my most recent purchase that I updated outside of that. And I really do like this spread. Stuff from Notebook Therapy for these stickers and this washi tape, and then also just Marigona Suli Art as well throughout it. This next spread I'm not in love with, but I think it might look better once I have like my reviews in. I was hoping to get to Witchcraft for Wayward Girls in February, but I didn't, but it's still on my TBR, so I do want to read it. But this is the Literally Dead book club from Books and Lala, so I put together kind of the first 3 books here, and I used some gorgeous washi tape from the Washi Tape Shop right here on the edges. All this lace washi tape is also from them. I love this like pink flower washi. It's gorgeous. I just don't love the way that I laid out this spread. I think there's like both too little going on and also too much happening. So I'm not in love. Although the elements are cool, I'm just not in love. But yeah, so this is where I will fill out the book reviews for that, but no major updates. And then this is the final spread I have. I love this spread so much. It's just like nice to feel really good about a spread after feeling kind of meh about the one previous. And I think that this just really came out so well, and I'm like really happy with it. So some things that I have on this spread are, I just have my paper from one of the thrifted books that I have. I use the more warm tone on the bottom and the top to tie in some of the colors over here, and then the lighter tone outside the edge of this washi tape. Like, oh my god, this is such a beautiful washi tape. I'm obsessed with it. This is from the Washi Tape Shop, and I'm actually really excited to announce that I have a small collaboration with them. They reached out to me, and I now have a code for the Washi Tape Shop, and I'm just really excited because I love their washi tape. I have an order, like this is from the Washi Tape Shop. It's beautiful. I purchased that myself, and I'll try to disclose when something was sent to me and when it was something I bought. So I did not buy the washi tape that was this one, but I did buy these over here, and then also the washi tape that I used on this spread I bought myself as well. But I'll try to disclose that the best of my ability. They sent me some gorgeous washi tapes, and I'm like so excited to use them in my journal. So this is from one of their newer spring sets. I'll put the exact name up on the on the screen, but it just has all these gorgeous, very spring color energy, just really beautiful, just kind of landscapes. And that's all of the ones that come in this one, and there's still so much left in the tape itself. So I feel like you get at least a few of each of the artworks, which makes me really happy, because then I don't feel like, oh, I've used this one once and now it's gone. That stresses me out. So I'm happy that that this has a lot, like definitely a few rolls of this artwork, and it's stunning, it's gorgeous. I love like these little paintings. They add in, I feel like, a lot to my journal without me having to like actually illustrate, which is really nice. So I'm obsessed with this kind of springy one, and I'm really excited because they also sent me this really beautiful kind of like landscape one, which I think will look so great on cover spreads. Spoiler, I might be using this one for March. So yeah, I'm like, oh my god, look at it, it's so beautiful. I'm literally obsessed. So this is their Wander Stop one. Oh my god. I love these tapes so much, and I'm really, really excited to use them in my journals. And I just need you to know that like, I would never like have a code with a company that I didn't like or didn't use, or had previously like bought from in the past. And I really do love the Washi Tape Shop. I think their washi tapes are gorgeous. They feel so nice. And yeah, I'm really, really excited to use more of them, because I do have some other ones and they are just stunning. So yeah, I love it. And also they smell nice. I can't describe it, but they smell like, I don't know, like I think it's the printing method that they use, but it kind of smells like paint, but in a good way. I hope that makes sense, or doesn't deter you if you don't like paint. It just, I don't know. They smell good, they feel good, they're gorgeous, and they're really nice quality. So I love them. And I'm really, really happy with how this spread came out. Sorry, that was a brief interlude. But other things about this spread. So we have the washi tape here. I also have a die cut. I got the Archer and Olive, like Nature's Treasures secret kind of box or quarterly box, and it came with these cute little die kits. So I used that. I also have like a little cloud sticker from the Hinoki Into the Sky. I have a butterfly and like this fairy from Ikigai. And then I have the map washi tape from Cora Crea Crafts. I love this. I think it's perfect for Emily Wilde. Oh, so good. And then I just wrote out the title up here on some like graph paper that I had, and I like how it brings in some more of this kind of yellow vibe. So I'm really happy with that. I actually just took a calligraphy workshop, so I've been trying my hand at adding more in. But for a quick review of Emily Wilde, I absolutely loved this book. I could totally see myself giving it a 5-star if I were to read it again. There were some things that I had, like the things that prevented it from being a 5-star on first read for me was at times it took me a little bit to get into the middle section of the book, but I was really enraptured for the most part throughout the entire thing. But yeah, this book is really popular, and I'm really glad that I finally got to it because I'm just obsessed. I love the way that the Fae are depicted. I love the romance in this book. I love that the romance isn't like all consuming, but it is still central to the narrative. I love Emily and Wendell together. I've been quoting Bloody Bamblebee like all the time since I started reading it. And I mean, this is just a really great, in my opinion, book. It's well written. I love the atmosphere of it. I love the main relationship. I love the main character. I love Emily. I love Wendell. I love them separate. I love them together. And I just find that I am rooting for Emily to, I don't know, have her discoveries. I like that she's not a perfect main character. I like that she can be selfish at times or just motivated by her studies, but she's not like perfect, right? Like she might do the right thing, but not quote for the perfect reasons. And I really like that about Emily. But yeah, if you've ever considered reading this, it's really good. It has some light academia. I don't know. The buzzwords are like, right, like fairies, historical, set in like early 1900s, fantasy, there's romance, there's some like light academia. She's a professor at Cambridge. She's going out in the field to study fairies. I love this. I love it. I love it. I loved this. This is like what I envision as a more cozy fantasy and something that's way more up my alley than like Legends and Lattes. I don't know if people consider this cozy fantasy, but to me, this is closer to it. And I loved this book. And then, the other book I read in February was Onyx Storm. I have so many thoughts. I've talked so much about Onyx Storm. I have enjoyed talking with my friends about Onyx Storm more than I enjoyed reading it. You can obviously pause to read my full review here. These are only just a smattering of my thoughts. I could probably talk about this book, and much to my boyfriend's chagrin, probably like way more than this page allows. But I had a really hard time getting through this. Part of it, of course, was because I was sick. But yeah, I felt like I was just kind of bored the entire time. Up until the very end, I felt honestly like the pacing was really off. There are things that happened at like a 2/3 way through the book that I thought could have been the midway point or sooner. And I felt like that left the pacing of like the last 20% to feel like frantic in some ways. And I felt like then certain things happened way too fast, and kind of undercut like really good emotional moments that happened earlier in the book. Oof, I don't know. So to me, like this one was just like rife with pacing issues. I felt like this could have been half a book. And I don't know. I just did not enjoy myself. There were still redeemable things, like I did enjoy some of it, which is why I gave it 2 stars. Yeah, it's kind of hard to talk without spoilers because we're just like in the middle of the series, but yeah, the pacing for me was really bad. I felt like the writing, like again, each book, I am getting more acclimated to the writing style. In other ways, the writing style is still not perfect, in my opinion. Like it's just not my cup of tea. It feels really immature, but it does get better book after book. Like on a sentence to sentence level, I find myself reading Violet's perspective just more easily, and it feels a little bit more natural. I also appreciated that Violet's disability was more prominent in this book, and I felt like was more impactful upon her day-to-day life, which I really appreciated. Because it was something I had questions about in the earlier books. So yeah, it's hit or miss. I'm just really curious to see where we're going with this series. I will keep reading it because again, I enjoyed talking with my friends about it. But I did not enjoy this one. It is by far my least favorite out of it. There's still like if I were to write down the plot points, I would like a lot of them, so it's fine. But that's just my take on Onyx Storm. If you enjoyed yourself, I honestly am really happy for you. This one was not for me, and I know that the series isn't for me in some ways, so I do get that. But please don't take my bad review as like, I think everyone should feel this way. Anyways, kind of ending on a downer, but let's do a flip through of the most recent pages that we've added here. a little bit of a smaller update, but I hope you enjoyed nonetheless. I'm really excited to do my spreads for March. I've already gotten so many fun ideas, and I know what stickers I'm using, so I'm really excited. And I'm really excited because the Aurelium Academy Read Along in April is coming up, so lots of things to look forward to in the spring. And I just wanted to thank you again so much for watching. If you need anything, it'll be linked in the description. And I just hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'd love to hear about the books you read in February or are reading now, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.